Did you call him a nigger, the child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the nigger word?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay.
Nigger.
All right, that's what you say.
Hey special family, welcome back to another fair use reaction video. Let's take a look at today's video, shall we?
Did you call him a nigger, the child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the nigger word?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay. All right, that's what you say.
Shiloh Hendricks, the white woman who appeared to hurl a racist slur at a black child in a now viral video, has raised over $600,000 in donations for herself on a fundraising page. Hendricks appeared to call a 5-year-old child the N-word at a park in Minnesota, and she now claims her family has been attacked and they may need to relocate. The fundraising page, which was initially flooded with donations from people expressing racist beliefs and sympathies, has raised over $600,000, surpassing its $50,000 goal.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a nigger?
Yeah.
The little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna...
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, a nigger, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
Oh, she can definitely kick rocks. Because you must be an evil person through and through to have the gall to curse out a 5-year-old and call them the N-word. Let's put racism aside. It's a child. It's a child. Then on top of that, you add racism. And on top of that, it's an autistic child who you decide, I'm going to curse at him and call him the N-word with her whole chest with a hard R. Evil person inside and out. And they need to come for you with everything possible. This goes to show you we're going to hell in a handbag. The way we as human beings interact with each other, the racism that's there, we're going to hell in a handbag. They donated to this woman who called a 5-year-old child, an autistic child, the N-word. You could have simply said, hey, put my child toys down. Let's say you didn't know. Hey, put my child toy down. Hey, where's your parent? Hello, ma'am, sir. He has my son's toy. Can I get it back? There's nothing wrong with that. But you going with a hard R and your full chest. And you have kids? Yeah, they need to take them from you. And I hope they file police reports on you. Because you're a despicable, ugly human being inside out. But there are more videos. Watch this one.
Folks, who knew MAGA was so flush with cash? All this time they've been crying about how they can't make ends meet, but as soon as they had the chance to support a trashy, racist, thirsty, dried-up failure at life for calling an autistic 5-year-old boy the N-word, they were like, here you go, take my last dollar and keep up the good work. Meet the absolute bottom of the barrel, Shiloh Hendricks, a 30-year-old Minnesota mom who proves yet again, assholery ages you. It really does. Yeah, Shiloh, too late, honey. There's no cream for that. Hate always leaves a mark, and yours shows all over your smug mug. Well, for those of you who don't know, Shiloh decided to make a name for herself as the craggy face of racism towards children. She yelled at a 5-year-old black autistic boy at the playground, repeatedly calling him the N-word. Yeah, at the playground, in front of kids. All while she was carrying her own child, of course. Starting the training early. Well, Shady Shiloh wasn't worried at all when she was filmed after her tirade, repeating the N-word and cursing out the man who challenged her for being a 30-year-old piece of crap, yelling racist slurs at a child. Such good choices, Shady Shiloh. Well, you've got to hand it to the bottom feeders. They know the bottoms of their brethren. Shiloh realized the viral video of her proving what a failure at life she is might open up an opportunity for her to leverage her assholery for some extra cash for cigarettes and lotto tickets. So she slipped quickly into victim mode and started a fundraiser on Give, Send, Go, which is like GoFundMe but for skeeverschneedles. Yeah. She made up a story about how she was being targeted and doxxed, and she would have to relocate her family because of all the meanie pantses who were attacking her for, being a failure at life. Well, you would think any crowdfunding platform would say, you can't make money off abusing a child and playing the victim. But no, this platform raised money for murderer/pathetic prickster Kyle Rittenhouse, so shitheads are their jam. Well, Shiloh has raised $620,000+ so far for calling a black autistic boy the N-word at the playground. No doubt a whole legion of young, half-brained, hate-shriveled, racist Shiloh wannabes are using their last brain cells to come up with their own get-rich-quick shenanigans. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see videos of monsters telling black preschoolers and kindergartners that they can't use the public restroom or water fountain anymore. I'll bet the first pick-me princess to lead the charge to segregate her school will be a millionaire in no time. Maybe the donors will be extra generous if the haters carry out their acts of aggression while wearing their pointy hats. Extra bonus dollars for pointy hats and wet t-shirts. Well, what can you say to the Shilohs of the world other than, I hope you have the day you deserve. And judging by your face, it looks like you are.
Some nasty effing mother in Minnesota calls a little African-American boy the N-word repeatedly and then starts a GoFundMe for herself to protect herself and people are donating and it's up to $500,000. This is effing appalling. Who are you that's donating? Like, give me a message. Let me know, because I'd like to have a word with you. I'm trying to raise funds for my friend who has actual stage 4 cancer and without the money will not be here anymore. And this bitch gets using the N-word and then raising, oh my God. Can we just arrest her? I have a place for you. It's called prison.
She started receiving backlash from the now viral video. This lady created a fundraiser on Give, Send, Go, where her goal was originally $250,000. As you can see, she's gotten almost double of what she asked for, and now she's raised her goal to $1 million. And it ain't nothing but a bunch of racist people donating to her. The audacity of that second person quoting Rosa Parks! Do not donate to that bullshit, y'all. Here instead is the GoFundMe for the 5-year-old boy that she harassed. Started by the NAACP Rochester branch. If you can't donate, at least share, comment, like, engage with this video, all of that. Because that baby deserves better, and she can go kick rocks.
Okay, so I haven't talked about this a whole lot, but I have been so bothered by this. When I say I have been disgusted by this, there was this white woman named Shiloh Hendricks who called a black baby the N-word. And then when she was exposed, she went on to raise, I think it's at $1 million now. She has raised $1 million on this crowdfunding page for calling a black kid the N-word, right? I was so bothered by that, and everybody's like, what can we do? What can we do? Y'all know me for cyberbullying people, but that was not going to be enough. So I'm going to tell y'all what I did, okay? I've been thinking, I've been strategizing, I've been doing a little sleuthing, right? So what I thought about as a business owner, what do I want to hit? Do I want to hit her or do I want to hit the money? So I thought about that. So I started searching and trying to figure out how can I find this funding source. I'm a business owner, I own a retail store, so I know there is a funding source. There's a pipeline somewhere, right? Give, Send, Go is the platform she uses, but they are not the bank. So I thought, like, we got to find a bank. And most banks are not going to want to be attached to something like that, right? Like most banks, especially payment processors, they will cut that shit off with any type of doubt or controversy. They'll usually just cut it off, right? So what I did, I used to be a web developer, so I know how to code and I know how to read code. So I went and I broke down the code on Give, Send, Go's checkout page line for line, and there were keywords I wanted to look for, right? So I looked for the keywords and I started looking through the keywords and I found the keyword Block Inc., right? That's familiar, right? Block Inc. is the parent company of Square. So I went and I did my researching and it turns out, yeah, that's their payment processor. So I'm going to attach and I'm going to share ways we can contact both Block Inc. and Square. So we want to hit both of them. so they can't ignore us, right? But there is a process to report stuff like that. And I don't know if they just didn't think we'd find it out. But yeah, bitch, we found it out. So I'm going to share how y'all can report. Stop reporting to Give, Send, Go. They don't give a fuck. They supported Kyle Rittenhouse, the January 6th rioters. That is literally what they do. That platform thrives off hate. So we don't want to hit them. We want to hit the money. And see, Give, Send, Go is a for-profit company, and they pretty much can do what they want to do. But when it comes to banking and payment processing in this country, we do actually have laws and regulations surrounding that. So any type of bank or payment processor has to have a clear-cut policy that prevents them from funding hateful things like that. So yes, Block and Square both have policies that prohibit the use of their platform for glorifying or amplifying or profiting off of harassment, illegal activities, racism, and yes, hate speech. So she has violated their policy by even having that campaign. I'm telling y'all, stop playing with black women in business and stop playing with black women in tech, because I know good and fucking well y'all didn't think we were going to look into that.
Okay, so they're trying to block her from getting the money that these people have donated. If you see the comments under the donation, shout out to the creators that are pushing, especially Andrea, who are pushing this so that she doesn't get a hand on the money. So Give and Go, the company that hosts the GoFundMe, they've decided that they're not gonna stop the funds from going to the woman who racially abused this little boy, verbally called him all kind of names, 5-year-old child, while holding a child in her hand. He is there on Piers Morgan's show defending his team through and through. Make it make sense when you hear it.
You know what would help you corporately? If you were genuinely true to your mission statement as a Christian site, that you want to protect children, and you were big on that at the start of this interview, I want to protect the kids, then you would remove her site immediately once you had established in your own brain that she'd racially abused a 5-year-old, which, by the way, she admits to doing. Right? So you could just do that like that.
Yeah, no, we could do a lot of things, but in the country that we live in, there are certain fabric elements that make this America what it is, and they need to be defended. So
free speech, one of them.
Have upset feelings.
Free speech?
Free speech, freedom of expression.
Really? And yet, how odd, because unless I'm mistaken, you have now removed the ability to comment and removed all the comments on this particular donation site, haven't you? Where's the free speech rights of those people who commented? Or are you just a hypocrite?
No, well, recognize what free speech is. Free speech is a prohibition against the government enacting laws to prohibit your speech.
You literally just made a speech talking about freedom of expression and free speech, but you've removed all the comments from here. Why are you suppressing and censoring people's right to free speech to comment on these sites?
We have, as a private business, the right to operate our business the way that
you have the right to suppress free
business.
speech. I don't dispute it. I'm just curious why you pretend to be this great defender of free speech when you're literally doing the opposite.
No, what we saw very clearly in this situation was a campaign for Carmelo Anthony, and on the back of it, a campaign for Shiloh, and they were competing off of each other. And they were in a cycle of vitriolic tornado of sorts, and we said, we need to put some calming effect on this by removing the back and forth element that's going on in this particular situation. It wouldn't necessarily have happened if these campaigns were completely independent, months, years apart from each other.
As a Christian again, I'm told that the Give, Send, Go site for Luigi Mangione, who we saw allegedly executing a healthcare boss in cold blood. I don't think there's much allegedly about it. We'll let the process take its course. He's got nearly £1 million for his defence via your site. And it's sort of odd, isn't it? Is it not an inconsistency in your Christian position on this? That on the one hand,
it shows your lack of understanding what Christian faith
actually stands for. Question.
But in the autism world, we don't have color. In our community, we stick together. We don't go by color. We don't go by race. Our babies are under one umbrella and they all need help, and we don't discriminate. So let's see what some other creators had to say about this whole situation.
This woman is Shiloh Hendricks, and if you haven't heard, she used a Christian crowdfunding website to raise almost $400,000 to protect her family after she was videotaped calling a 5-year-old the N-word on the playground. Now, she claims that the kid tried to steal her diaper bag, and then she went off, and the man who was recording her calls her out, and she just repeatedly calls him the N-word over and over and over again. How the fuck have we gotten here? How have we gotten here? I don't care if the kid did pick up her diaper bag. You're going to call him a racial slur and then repeat it over and over again to the man who's recording you do it? I contacted this website. It's a Christian crowdfunding GoFundMe, essentially. And they replied back to me and said that they were going to research it, because I said, is this what you stand for as a Christian organization, is this what you stand for? Letting someone use your platform after they are displaying a blatant fucking display of racism. Is this what you guys are okay with? You're cool with that? She left out the part that she called the kid a racial slur in her little blurb about why she needs to keep her family safe. I would encourage you, if you are as outraged as I am, to share this video to your story and go to this website and send them a message saying the same thing that I did. Is this what you are okay with? This is what you want people to use your website for? Because I can tell you this, if that's what they're okay with, that is absolutely not fucking Christian. And I am tired of people being racists and awful fucking people and doing it in the name of God. This is absurd. This is unfucking acceptable.
So the guy who recorded her, he had to come online and defend himself because he did a good deed. Now people are saying, oh, he has a criminal record, he has a pedophile. So he had to come online and creators had to go dig to show that this man doesn't have a criminal record. He didn't do anything wrong. He saw a little boy in need of help and he stepped in. So this is how that went.
Hi, my name is Shamarki Umar. I'm the guy who recorded that video of that racist woman that was insulting a 5-year-old child at the park here in Rochester, Minnesota. May I remind you guys, I have a clean criminal record. I've never committed a crime in my life. I am being punished for standing up, speaking up for a child. My address got leaked, my phone got leaked. I'm getting death threats by the minute. I have 4 children, the youngest one on the spectrum. He needs to go play outside every day. He can't anymore. So, doing the right thing gets you punished, and doing the wrong thing gets you rewarded. Make that make sense, America.
You know, one of the most amazing things about this incident that nobody is talking about is how this is Shamik Omar, the person that this person claims recorded her at the playground that day, who everybody passed on along his criminal history, saying that he is a pedophile and yada, yada, yada at the playground filming children. Well, according to the Hindus and Times, he caught this charge in 2023, a charge of criminal sexual misconduct. However, that very attorney's office dismissed those charges in the interest of justice. What that means is the case was found not to be true. No evidence. People are calling him a pedo due to an older case. This is according to that courtroom. He was accused of assaulting a 16-year-old girl. However, according to court documents, the accusations were dropped, and he was cleared of all accusations. And he wasn't there filming children like everyone says. He was there with his own children playing at the park. And also, it was the woman who made the claims that he was a pedo. Just FYI.
Doing the right thing gets you punished. His address got leaked. He gets death threats. His kids are in danger. And she gets $1 million. Make it make sense. But there's more. So now Piers Morgan is on this case. And he's even in our corner like, who is racist against a 5-year-old child? What kind of person says this to a 5-year-old child? This is just hate speech. And he had a trans wife up there who was defending this woman and says that she uses this word, yeah, whenever she feels like it and whenever she needs to use it in her, I don't know when she needs to use it, but whenever she feels like it and whenever she needs to. Here's a little snippet of what she said.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying that Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care.
And if that's not bad, to end it all with a bang, this guy came out to say he is glad that this happened because what she did is put an end to the cancel culture, and we're not seeing it. Let's take a look.
I don't think they understand what's actually happening here or why. It is, in the end, a net positive that this woman has raised $500,000. I'm glad she has. I hope she raises $1 million. I will not be joining with some of my conservative friends in wagging my finger at her donors, and I'll explain why. First of all, she does have a legitimate need for the money. The mob is truly trying to get her killed. I don't believe that a woman should have her life threatened for saying a word, even a bad one. And you could say freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences for your speech, all you want. But if losing your livelihood and having your house burned down is a consequence of your speech, then you do not have free speech. Supporting free speech means supporting someone's ability to speak without having their family murdered for it. Okay, that should be pretty obvious. Second, more importantly, and this is the part that I really need everyone to stop and think about. This is the most devastating attack on cancel culture that we have seen, possibly ever. Shiloh Hendricks has, without really trying, effectively ended cancel culture. As Mark Dice said in his video about the incident, Shiloh is the final boss of cancel culture, or maybe rather the final boss that cancel culture has to fight. And I think that's right. And this is the part that many conservatives seem to be missing. All they see is that this woman said something bad and is now getting rewarded for it. The whole thing is so unsavory that they can't help but recoil. And yeah, it is unsavory. You wish that Shiloh had said or done something that we could affirmatively defend. That would be much easier. Nobody wants to affirmatively defend cussing out a 5-year-old, even though I don't think the kid's actually 5. But none of that is the point. The point is that the only way to put an end to this routine, the routine where the outrage mob mobilizes and assembles to destroy somebody's life, is to disincentivize the routine. And the only way to disincentivize that behavior is to reward the person who's being targeted. Now, we can complain all we want about the mob tactics and how they silence and punish people and exact vengeance in wildly disproportionate ways. We can condemn it. We can write think pieces about it. We can deliver monologues. None of that matters. None of that will stop them. The only thing that can stop them, the only thing that will make them think twice about doing this again, is if they know that instead of getting their target canceled, they might accidentally make them rich. And more important, even than the money, they must know that their attempt to isolate and ostracize somebody will fail.
Now that you've seen that we're all confused and going to hell in a handbag because some of us don't understand that it's not okay for a grown woman with kids to sit there and curse at a child, call them the N-word, and then for Christian platforms to support this by stating some bogus facts for the reason why it is okay, and for the racists to show themselves in a handbag. Like, this is us, you go girl, you do that. When it comes to our community, especially our special need community, keep your hands off our special need kids. We don't care what color they are. Stop talking trash to them. Stop being racist. Because in this community, we don't know none of that. And except for that, you're an adult. No adult should talk to a child like that. There are people that really need GoFundMe because they will die without their money. And all you had to do was call a 5-year-old the N-word, be racist, follow him around the playground like you about to go assault him, and get $1 million almost for it. I hope you go to jail, and I hope they take your kids from you. But good luck with that. See you guys in the comment section, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.